The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Egg podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me are Swoosh and John Doe.
Hi. Hello.
And this episode we get to start out with some actually good news. Well, potentially good news in the long run. It's not doing it a lot right now, but I like what it's gonna do. Which is Steam is looking to tighten the how season passes function on the Steam platform. And I, for one, am very happy about that because I really, really fucking hate vague fucking DLC promises.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah, they're horrible.
So basically what this will boil down to, and there's a bunch of like various levels to it, but these are like the three big things they're hitting. A complete list of all DLC included in the season pass. So if there's 4 pieces, you've got to say that's how many there are going to be, not just nebulous content.
Yep.
A basic description of the content that's included in each DLC. The example given here is, say it's called the Glitterlands expansion. It contains a new area to explore, 2 new weapons, and new enemies. They're not required to have a final name within the season pass, but you must describe what they're getting. So people have some idea that we're getting a zone content, we're getting just some gear.
Yeah.
So you can, again, make a more informed choice about what is the DLC you're getting as part of your purchase.
I really like that.
They don't have to list exactly what stuff is. So, like, they can say weapons, but they don't have to say, you know, this is 2 weapons for the fighter class or something.
Yeah,
like
or
that.
they'd have to say 2 new rifles or 2 new pistols, just 2 new weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can still be kind of vague, but they're still, you know, instead of being like, oh, there's going to be a new story expansion coming. Oh, no, it's just a gear pack.
Yeah.
You'll know it's a gear pack. And the expected release date of each DLC to at least the quarter or season that it's going to come out in. So you can do like quarter 2 2025 or summer 2025.
Yeah.
They are allowed to shift the DLC time of release once for the whole season pass by up to 3 months. And if they break that promise again, Steam can go as far as delisting the season pass or refunding purchases.
And it's not just refunding the purchase of the season pass. It can extend to refunding the entire game.
Because they may have purchased it under the false pretense of a much better thing.
Particularly if you bought it as like a pre-order thing or a collector's edition that came with the season pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, finally we're going to get some transparency on what all, like, it's really annoying because they used to be okay with season passes. Now they're so vague.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, am I actually going to get any value out of this fucking season? Oh, and to sell a season pass, a piece of the DLC must be available.
Already, yeah.
Ah, that's cool.
So no more can you be like, season pass, see you in I don't know how much time. If you sell a season pass, part of that season pass must already be ready to go.
Which Ubisoft is terrible for. Like, pretty much any of their most recent games is, buy a season pass, you'll get 4 bits of content maybe later.
Well, I mean, all that's really going to happen is those day one launch DLCs are going to be rolled into the season pass.
Yeah.
And be like, this is what you get day one.
Yeah.
But it's still rather that people get something for the 60 extra bucks they can throw down for season passes than nothing for 6 months.
Yeah, like, they used to be really good back before they started being very predatory in a way. Where it's just like, we'll just be nebulous, and then people buy the game. It's like, just fuck them. They don't need DLC. They've already bought the game. Why should we follow up?
I'm glad it's cracking down because, like, most recently, Mortal Kombat, and we also had Homeworld 3 for their season pass. Both of those season passes have collapsed. They released 1 bit of content from it. They got a really poor review, so they got, oh, fuck it, we're not doing any more. They then dumped a little bit more content, and that's it. So this is going to prevent that.
Yeah, which is good. I like
so if you're promised 4 pieces of content within this time frame, that's what you're going to get. So it's going to make a lot of devs go, oh, we actually have to do shit. Like, we actually have to continue to spend the money on shit that we've promised, even though, like, we've fucked up and we don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
or be willing to eat the cost of the
Yeah.
refund.
Which is like,
I know.
at least if they release the content, they're going to get something for it. You're going to have someone who buys it. If you don't release it and Steam goes, well, you're a dick, refunds.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want one of... It's like when they roll this out, I want someone to test them. I want Steam to have to use this. Because you know that they're going to be vicious for it. 'Cause, like, they'll set the fucking example.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the examples you just gave are why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our consumers are getting screwed over by developers. Well, fuck you. We're going to protect our consumers.
Yeah.
And people always go back to the point of sale to complain, so they're always going to Steam to bitch about a game. It's like,
Well, if you
we're
buy
sick
a
of
game
this.
through Steam, you're going to contact Steam for the refund.
Yeah.
So,
So I'd also be sick of dealing with that shit constantly.
fucking oath.
Yeah,
So-
it's generally, as usual, Valve doing vaguely a net good for the gaming community.
Yeah.
I always find, like, Steam an interesting thing, or Valve as a company. It's like, yeah, we might be evil, but we also do good things. It's like,
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to praise a company that essentially has a monopoly on digital sales, but it's like,
Yeah.
they keep doing good things.
Yeah.
it's one of those things like, we have a monopoly, but we're not dicks about it, okay? You know, we like the people we've conned into this. This is keep you around. You feed us money.
Steam wouldn't be a monopoly if the competition actually followed some of the same features. Actually did the positive features for the community.
Or if they even tried doing anything.
Yeah.
Fucking, oh god. Epic. God damn.
I mean, hell, not that long ago, GOG doubled down on their core philosophy to their community.
That's true.
They started a specific section within their company that's designed so that so what they do, so somehow you've managed to listen to this many episodes of this podcast without me explaining GOG. They take old games and make them run on new computers. But they generally only do like a major update to get it running for sale, and then maybe some minor updates after that to keep it going. But generally it's like, now it runs, so now it's a community problem if there's other issues from the ongoing creep of OSs. They've now decided that, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a smaller portion of our products, the high-selling good old games.
Like the cult classics kind
yeah.
of things.
And we are going to continually update those products, essentially in perpetuity, to continue to update them for new OSs as they come out and keep them going.
I mean, that's smart.
fucking awesome.
A narrower vision means they can get more of them and keep them going, because that would have been a resource drain no matter which way you look at it. So.
Which is probably why they used to only do we updated it, we got it running, sorry guys, it's your problem now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got their oddly enough, their good old games.
Yeah.
And it's these specific ones, and they get a label put on them and everything, and they're like, yeah, these are our perpetually update old games, and we will keep them running. And they got to keep adding to it, too. They're not just like, we're doing one run of it, and that's it. They got to keep adding stuff to that set as they identify and continue and expand it. But yeah, I mean, that's a competitor to Steam that's doubling down on what they do best. Unlike, fucking Epic.
Yeah. No, Epic's just in the corner eating paste. Just...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it just thinks it's eating paste. It's got an empty jug that it just keeps sticking its hand in.
It's the Microsoft Edge of this that industry, essentially.
It's the lemonade stand without sugar.
Yeah. No, it's just the Microsoft Edge. It's pre-installed on a bunch of shit you really want, and then you have to deal with them. So...
I'm sorry, all I could think of was it's lemonade store without sugar, and you're almost sure this is actually piss.
Yeah. That's the only sweetener. The diabetic kid sitting behind the counter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Either way, it's a good thing, and a major industry leader like Steam putting this forward, pretty good likelihood other people are going to start doing it as well.
This is going to have ripples across to Xbox and PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere you
absolutely.
play games, because for them to meet the criteria for here means the criteria is being met everywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you talk about it anywhere else if you have to talk about it on Steam?
Yeah.
You may as well just put out the same press information everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm curious if this is going to act retroactively for season passes that are already out.
They haven't said anything about it being retroactive. And I would...
Or even season passes that are still active.
Whether
they've already collapsed or not.
I would be expecting the answer would be no.
Yeah.
Because, arguably, people wouldn't have done those things if they'd known this could happen. And I know I'm defending companies that are doing something shitty, but, like, I can see how Valve would be like, okay, so we're not going to dick over everybody who's doing stuff on our platform, but we're going to draw the line in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
From
you are
this
past
point,
this
you
line,
fuck up, you fuck up.
Yeah.
You've been told. No excuses, but we didn't know. No. You've been told, shut the fudge up.
After this
Get
date,
in
the kid
line.
gloves are off, and we just sick the lawyer. Just like this one rabid lawyer in the background with a briefcase. Like,
I can imagine him being on the floor with a chain. She's frothing at the mouth with a bag in his hand.
no, Jeremy, no!
Papers strewn everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we may as well continue the jokes going, and Putin wants to suggest that the Ukrainian war is now becoming a global war.
It's only becoming global because he keeps threatening to nuke people.
Yeah.
It's like, brother, no, let's stop it. It's everyone v you.
Although, I did find the, last week we were talking about the Ukrainian thing, and I was talking about one of the missile systems that I thought had a really silly name. I actually found it.
Oh,
And
that's
it's the ATACMS, or the Attackums.
That's just a cartoon
Someone-
villain making a missile.
Someone had a great day.
Someone at the fucking Pentagon or the fucking R&D department was like, I have a chance to do a thing. I'm gonna fucking do it.
No, you know, every step up the line that this had to go for it to become that name, it was just like, oh, here's a suggestion. Okay.
All they had to do
further
was
up the
then
line.
write Acme underneath it.
Oh, God.
And paint like fucking Wile E. Coyote on the nose cone. That's it. That's all they had to do.
I really hope the first mega corporation that, like, forms is, like, actually calls itself Acme. I'd be okay with it then.
But getting us back on topic, basically Putin pointing out that, like, as the global community has been supporting Ukraine and giving them weapons, that they consider that a valid reason for them to shoot any military target from someone who has offered weapons to the Ukraine.
Yeah. Basically, it's them going, back, fuck off. Wait, this is ours.
This is
such
our
dick swinging.
special military operation, not a war. If
Yeah.
you keep invading in our special military operation, this is going to be a fucking war.
Meanwhile, America and both, no, we're not nearby. We're doing training exercises. Yeah, it's
Just
training.
live fire training exercises.
So, at which point, if Russia hears the worst words to hear from America, it's a bad thing. Just you hear in the distance, peacekeeping. And then it's like, oh God, no, the Americans are coming.
I hear they have oil.
Although by all accounts, Australia does quite well when we do peacekeeping work.
We do, yes. We actually go there for peacekeeping, not to do evil things.
But I mean, I say that as someone who lives in Australia, and thus we generally get very positive media about our military.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It really helps that we're an island and don't have immediate land borders with another country.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh, what? We want to fuck off and look after ourselves, or we're just going to go fucking do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also helps that we have a military that is capable of training in mountainous terrain, snow, desert, tropics, all in one country. We don't have to go to another country and be like, can we train in your terrain? No, we've got it all at home.
Oh, God.
I mean, I think the Americans come out here for jungle training.
Yeah, it's they
Jungle and
training,
arid
and
desert, I
the
think it
Brits-
is.
Yeah. And I think the Brits do as well, because we had a good working relationship with their SAS.
Yeah. So continuing the laugh fest going, Andrew Tate's website, the Real World, got hacked with piles of emails and user data and conversations all got leaked. I haven't looked into it. I honestly don't care. But I kind of just want to point and laugh at Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just... Watching him just get fucked over is my favorite thing. But it's essentially his cult has been revealed, because, God, I hate those... Like, he does one of those schools, essentially.
One of those training programs.
Man. Yeah, it's like, learn about crypto and how to be a real man, and it's like, fuck off, please.
Learn to be a real man from the bloke with the weakest chin I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing is when he kept bragging about being able to, like, grow hair out as, I shave this every day, and then they showed him in prison, he's like, you know, the dirtiest comb over you've ever fucking seen.
Yes.
So I'm happy to laugh at that idiot.
Speaking of things that kind of turned out to be sort of a joke, did either of you guys look into any of the stuff to do with Mr. Beast has actually responded to the allegations and stuff that we're putting against him?
I did, yeah. I like watching some of Oompaville stuff. I did not think he'd be the person he'd go to have an interview.
Oh, I fully believe that he did that simply because Oompaville is a big enough YouTuber that it would signal boost the interview, but low enough that he could control him.
Yeah, I just like the fact he forgot that he's also good friends with Mudahar and Coffeezilla. So they were feeding him questions.
Well, that's the thing, though. He still offered only the most softball questions.
Oh, yeah.
And pushed for no additional information when Mr. Beast was clearly not answering.
Yeah.
So, like, if you haven't seen it, it's a 2-hour video of him talking to Oompaville about the whole thing. Oompaville asks a lot of questions, but it's all the most softball, here's a question, answer it however you want, I'm going to ask no follow-up.
Yeah.
Just, you get to talk and say whatever you fucking want. And it's the most corporate, I'm not really going to answer and flippantly answer these questions as you can possibly get.
Especially when they got to the cryptocurrency stuff. It's like, it's the firm. The firm did this. It's all the firm. Like, no
Cut
way.
to videos of him actually talking about how he was specifically targeting certain things within the cryptosphere.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But I mean,
he
like,
fumbled it hard.
I mean, his one with the thing with Lunchley was the dumbest bit, though.
Yeah.
So they asked him about the mold thing that happened with Lunchley. And he's like, no, there's no mold in our food. It goes through FDA clearance at the plant, and there's no mold in it. Why would we put mold in our food?
Yeah.
And then once it leaves the factory, I have no control over it. Oh, maybe a truck took a corner too hard and one of the packages got pierced. Maybe someone took it home and didn't refrigerate it properly. I can't control these things. I can't be blamed for them. Yeah. Look at any competitor, maybe some kind of competitor in the same space, and put mold after the name in Google. You'll find thousands of responses. If you actually do that, you just get things about Lunchley having mold in it.
Yeah.
I loved that. Because that was
Mudahar did that.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. Fuck, that was fun.
But like, that's not the point. The thing is, you've specifically, you're a big YouTuber. You signed up with one of the Paul brothers and KSI to make a product targeted at children, and it's coming up with mold in it. Multiple instances of it, not just the girl who's got a problem with Mr. Beast. Like, lots of other people have found mold in their
it's like quite a thing. You can like look online, and there are a lot of them out there. It's not an isolated incident.
Yeah, it's clearly a problem. And you're treating it like, it's not my fault. Like, how dare you blame... Dude, you made yourself the face of the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't go, this is made by Beast Industries, so it's a Mr. Beast product, but it's not specifically Jimmy. No, you put your face on the box. Well, not on the box, on all the advertising. You are the face. Which means people are going to look at you and go, why is there fucking mold on your products?
It's better than that. If you watch, like, the release, it's like, I joined up with these people to make this. It's like, hey, you've taken full ownership there. Like, ooh.
Yeah. So people are going to point at you and go, why is there mold in your food?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. It's like you don't understand how this sort of thing works. Like, if you too heavily put yourself forward, you're the face. You're gonna get the backlash.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that this happened on your first run of the product as well, it's not like you've been running for 6 months and, we've had a issue with something and a couple of these things had mold in it. This is your first run. This is the time when you're the most hype and the most people are looking at your stuff. This is a problem. And you're so flippantly sitting there being like, it's not my fault. It left the factory okay.
He publicly shit the bed and then tried to claim it was roses.
Yeah.
He
don't
shit
like
the bed,
him.
then
He's
wrote,
kind of-
"It's not my shit" on the wall with it.
Yes. Someone else shit in my pants.
It's definitely, like, I think, like, on balance, Mr. Beast will end up coming out on top in this whole thing. But I definitely think a lot more people are like, oh yeah, he's just a profit guy. That's
the shine is gone. He's no longer like, all spiff and, he can do no wrong. It's like, no, he's your product to him.
I mean, I was talking about this with a housemate, and we were discussing how, like, Mr. Beast, at least to us, and I'll freely admit, not a big fan of Mr. Beast here.
Yeah.
Kind of always had a bit of a bad vibes thing from him. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, there's something I don't like about you. I don't have anything concrete, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
And then you start having these things come out, and it's like, bad vibes validated.
Yeah.
And then it's like, those things weren't correct, but I just watched this interview, and I'm still like, bad vibes validated.
Yeah.
It's like, some of it was, like, the dog pack stuff was kind of annoying. Like, it's like, just,
I mean, once that all sort of came out, and, the fact that the guy had only worked for the company for 3 weeks, it's like, you didn't know shit.
Yeah.
You're not actually that credible a source.
Pretty much.
And a lot of the stuff was disproven.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You've annulled that on Jimmy. Awesome. That's cool. But when Jimmy did an interview with a YouTuber that's this soft core, and there's a bit where he talks about how, like they kind of asked him, like, why it took him so long to make a statement. And he's just like, we didn't think we needed to. And then he talks about how, like, he's lost, like, millions of dollars in endorsement deals, so here we are. Once the money started drying up, that's when you thought you needed to respond.
This video isn't for, like, the people, his followers. This is for, like, the companies who'll be watching and, like, wanting an explanation.
Yeah.
God, it's dodgy. I don't like him. He's a piece of shit. But
again, I kind of hold up at calling him a piece of shit, but it's like, bad vibes, man. Bad vibes.
Yeah, that's it. God damn. I'm hoping, like, something comes of it, because the crypto stuff could be pretty damning for him if they get the right, the actual information they can. It's definitely shoddy.
He's definitely done the smart thing of putting at least one installation layer between him and the crypto stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So there's still a little bit of deniability.
I kind of hate that, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It sucks, but I mean, like, it is there.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how it all pans out in the long run. There's still the lawsuit from the Beast Game stuff, which he didn't talk about because, active lawsuit. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. But I still expect Mr. Beast to generally come out on top.
Yeah, one thing with that interview that I did kind of find annoying is they mentioned the whole, what's his name, Logan Paul going to that, the FDA thing. They didn't mention the fact that he doxed the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like,
he pushed it out there like proof that people were lying about Lunchley without actually acknowledging that the story was more like fake from Logan Paul.
Yeah. It was just, that felt weird. Like, guys, no, there was a big thing there. Why aren't you talking about the very big thing?
Yeah, because he needed to make it sound like people were against him. And that was a very public incident of people looking like they were against him.
That's fair. And I think, I know why he went to Oompaville, but why?
Look, I mean, that was my guess. I don't know if that's true, or what happened, or what caused that interview, but if you'd gone to CoffeeZilla, Moist Critical, Philip DeFranco, someone like that'll push you on the correct, not correct, but push you for more information and ask harder questions, instead of these fucking soft lobs that any person could bat back. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, Oompaville he's a comedy reaction guy. He's not a, like, investigative journalist. He doesn't know what question to ask.
I mean, even if he did, it doesn't sound like he got to ask any hard questions.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything was the softest low-ball lob you could possibly give anyone. If you can't hit this back, you can't be on camera. Not anything was like, okay, cool, so that's what you want to say about Lunchy. But the mold is there. It is a problem. What are you doing about it? Not bitch about how it's not your fault. Because if you'd been like, so what are you actually doing about it? And he'd been like, oh, so we've improved some of the production stuff in the factory. We identified some problems with the glue. We've already fixed that. It's not going to happen anymore. You would have actually placated people instead of having a childish rant on some other dude's YouTube channel where you just go, not my fault!
It would have been so much easier to cover yourself. Like, we didn't come out and say anything because we wanted to fix it before we gave the update to make sure it was all good.
Yeah.
And, and finish the investigation. You spin it that way and you're fine, but instead he had a tantrum.
I mean, it's much more controlled than a tantrum, but, like, it kind of basically was. It was mostly just him having a whinge for 2 hours and not actually answering questions. Like you said, he's probably going to do okay, and he has annulled himself of pretty much all of the allegations. There's only a few still floating around that are either legal or kind of nebulous and still haven't been sorted out. Bad vibes confirmed, though, man. Bad vibes confirmed.
It's definitely dimmed his glow. Which I'm very okay with.
So, the American government is trying to break up the monopoly Google has on the browser space.
I'm curious what this will actually look like in the end. Like, what, does Chrome get broken off and become its own company? Or
they would sell Chrome off from Google.
Yeah.
So some other company would run... Some other company could buy Chrome.
Yeah, I think I can't remember the actual thing for it. They released it to the open market in a way where people can buy and make it public, I think.
I don't think that's how it works, but the point is to divest the search engine from the browser.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're not immediately tied.
Yeah. And then also Google would not be able to re-enter the browser market for for a minimum of 5 years, and they would have to end any current contracts they have running where they're essentially paying to be the default browser on like phones and things.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah.
I mean, cool, but like I don't think it's gonna matter that much to Google.
It really won't. It's kind of annoying.
Because, like, they get most of their income, as far as I'm aware, and I mean, third-party idiot sitting in his room here, from what they do with their advertising on their actual search engine, not Chrome.
Pretty much.
So it will make it harder for them to push in their new fucking Web3 browser, at least.
Yeah.
That's true.
But then Web3 browsers, as far as I'm concerned, can go fuck off.
Exactly. So if anything to make that fucking harder, good luck.
Have we talked about Web3 on this before?
I mean, sort of.
I think we've mentioned it.
Crypto shit.
Probably mentioned it. One day we should actually go into depth.
For like, absolute broad strokes, if you have no idea what it is, it's basically crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the integration of cryptocurrencies into various activities that you do online.
Yeah. It's dumb. I don't want to deal with it. But...
Yeah, Web3's not... Crypto bros and, like, tech bros will tell you it's the most incredible, lucrative thing that could possibly come to your home. It's not. No. Don't believe them. It's not. No. It's gonna make things so much worse.
Do not
imagine commodifying your browsing time. Yeah, they'll be like, oh, but just browsing gets you paid. Yeah, but I have to put up with more ads.
Yeah.
We want less ads in our browsers, not more ads.
I already get so pissed off when I'm doom scrolling and come across ads. I'm like, go away.
Yeah.
Take me back to the weird stuff.
Yeah.
But that is like
working against ad blockers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, that's the absolute, like, top level, broadest strokes of what Web3 is. It's a whole thing. But I honestly don't care if it takes them longer to get their Web3 browser up. It's not an interest to me. And they're still doing their Chrome OS on their Chromebooks where they will be allowed to put things like Chrome. because, it's their OS. They can do what they want. Microsoft gets away with putting Edge on everything.
Yeah.
The world's most popular browser to get another browser.
Well,
It is basically just an app. Like, its open splash page should be, welcome to Edge. Which browser would you like to download?
yeah.
The homepage for Edge should just be 9.9.
Yeah.
Because the only reason you've opened Edge is because you have a fresh install of Windows and need to go get the other software.
God, I love 9.8. Fuck.
Oh, it's the fucking best. If you've never used that on a fresh install, you'd change your life.
It saves so much time.
Although, Microsoft is trying to implement a new feature into Edge.
Is it that it just auto-deletes itself after installing something else?
I fucking wish. So, what they want to do is they want to integrate Edge into your gaming.
Oh,
So
God,
the idea would be if you hit a specific key combination, the one in this article says that it's Windows G.
Yeah.
That currently launches the
Windows
Xbox
gaming.
overlay.
It will also launch things within that. It should also launch a Edge browser, which will then detect what game you're playing and then offer up assistance information.
Edge is like a rash that was... You didn't like it, but it was, something that stuck to where it was. Now it's spreading.
Kind
I
of.
don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't using Edge before. What makes you think I'm going to use Edge for this now?
Oh,
Yeah.
good. A new hotkey I have to disable.
I don't use... There is exactly one Windows key function I use, and it's Windows L to lock my machine when I walk away from it. And
Yeah,
that's
same.
fucking it.
Or
Yeah.
Control
That's the
C,
only
Control
one I
V.
Yeah, but that's not a Windows shortcut.
Little Windows button. But, yeah, the only one I know is L for lock.
Yeah.
So,
That's the only one I use. I don't use any other
No.
Windows shortcut key things. They're useless. Use all the other keyboard shortcuts, Control Shift Escape to get task managing, to kill things, because Windows can't handle its own shit. Fucking, you Control C, Control V, Control Z shit, all that crap's great.
the
Don't
good thing
use
is
fucking Windows shortcuts, though.
at least looking at my keyboard, you're not likely to accidentally trigger it, which is good. Because, just looking at the position of the keys, the G is far enough away.
Oh,
But
yeah.
at the same time, the fact that it's far away, if you're trying to use this function, you have to, just, alright, remove hands from gaming position.
So, they're trying. The reason they want to do this is because they've noted that a lot of gamers will run a web browser on a second monitor alongside their game, and they often alt-tab to it. And that's where they're like, oh, well, what if we integrate the browser into your gaming experience? That way you don't have to alt-tab out of the game.
But it never looks good.
No.
I mean, you're loading up an entire other overlay that's already taking me out of the game, so it's not helping. It's just as bad as alt-tabbing. And I can already alt-tab into a good browser, not Edge.
Yeah.
And I can still see the other browser on the screen after the fact. Otherwise this is it's in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I need to look up something for a game, I usually use my phone.
Yeah.
Or I've got a
I will
tablet
admit,
that sits on my desk.
I tend to alt-tab because I have the second monitor, but exactly what Swoosh pointed out, if I really need a guide up for something that's happening in a game, I need to have the game up and the guide up at the same time. Not, I'm going to bring up an overlay, read the next bit, close the overlay, do it, bring up the overlay, read the next bit, close the overlay. No, I want it on the second screen and just leave it there.
It's just such a dumb decision.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's really, really dumb.
And of course it's Edge doing it is just a little bit special, that one.
Yeah, I know, right? So, next thing we had up was, this is an opinion piece. I want to point that out there. It's not like a big, deep, factual breakdown on the Unreal Engine. But it's interesting because it brings up a thing that we've been discussing on this show a bunch of times. This particular article was talking about how the Unreal 5 engine's a bit shite. It's really not. The big problem is that companies are using DLSS and MSSR as a crutch to get frame rates instead of optimizing their fucking games.
Because who needs, QR?
And, they bring up some solid points about how, the Unreal Engine's kind of got all these whiz-bang features and it's had some rough development times with studios. But, serious. This engine's doing fine. It's
Yeah.
at least from a consumer point of view.
It's your implementation
I'm
of
not
the
a
engine
developer.
that's fucked up.
Yeah. Like one of the things they bring up is how Stalker's a buggy mess. I've been playing a bunch of Stalker, actually. How long have I been playing Stalker? This is Stalker 2, by the way. Which, let's face it, was a game that was developed during a war.
Yeah.
Because the studio that made Stalker 2 is a Ukrainian one.
We can forgive them a bit of, like, frame drop.
The more thing I forgive is that the English dialogue. That I swear to God, the only people they had around were like British, sort of like slightly Irish people. So like the English voice acting does not line up even slightly with the Russian tone.
Amazing.
How long have I been playing Stalker? So I've got about 11 hours on Stalker right now, and I've had one hard crash and one graphical glitch. And that's it. I will admit, I generally have like a weirdly good luck with buggy video games not bugging out on me. Don't know what it is. But yeah, it's been running reasonably well. I think part of the problem is that a lot of reviewers got a pre-patched copy of the game.
Yeah.
So it would be a little bit
there
buggy.
was actually a day one patch that dropped for the title, which fixed a lot of stuff and made it more stable. And they have promised more stability patches coming.
That's good.
But, I'm not going to get into, like, when did you review this? How honest are you being? Who knows? The point is that they're pointing at stuff like that and going, look at the Unreal Engine being shit. No.
That's not
really
the engine
not.
itself. It's,
And one of the ones they bring up, and it's Remnant 2. I have literally had zero problems running Remnant 2, and it looks amazing on full graphics.
It always ran silky smooth when I was playing it.
The biggest problem we had was a little bit of inconsistency with connecting for multiplayer, but I chucked that more up to Australia's shitty internet than
Pretty much.
Remnant 2.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it still brings up eventually, a lot of these companies are leaning on all these other technologies to make games work. It's just like, maybe they should optimize their fucking products.
Yeah.
Maybe they should stop using the crutch.
So, Ubisoft wants to get Steam to remove player counts.
This is one of the dumbest things I've heard in a while.
I mean, it sounds exactly on brand for Ubisoft.
Oh, absolutely it
It
does.
really does. Like, I think of Ubisoft, and I think of, like, the dastardly villain twiddling the mustache. Like, that's their image in my head. It's Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
I was about to say, and Muttley, that's actually got EA written on it.
I was gonna say, it's, like little EA Muttley.
But
essentially, they don't like the way player counts can basically signal games that are unpopular with the community.
Yeah.
Oh no, it outs us as being shit. Don't let everyone see it.
God, next thing you'll know, they'll be like, we don't like reviews.
Yeah. You can almost see him saying, and I could have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those damn Steam views.
Yeah. But it just seems really weird. Like, I know it can contribute to a game not doing well if you see that kind of shit on the page. It's like, if there's no one playing this game, I don't want to jump in, especially if it's multiplayer or, a social thing.
But that's
But
also
even
the
then,
problem
even
with the always online, like, game as a service fucking game. Like, if as soon as they stepped away from that, concurrent player base wouldn't mean shit.
Yeah.
It's just that your trash game has to be online and requires other players for it to be remotely functional, and you're not going to fucking support it anyway.
Yeah.
But even when you look at stuff like, I'm sure they're more talking about because, Star Wars Outlaws hasn't been doing super great, technically a single-player game. But that's the point. They launch a game, they drop it, and then no one's playing it, kind of signaling to the rest of the community that even though this is a single-player title, it sucks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people would be playing it.
Or it's a broken fucking mess.
Basically, they're a bit butthurt that they just can't get away with, putting a stinker out and like, people know it's a stinker before they buy it. Now they're not buying it.
Well, I mean, maybe if they'd bothered to put a discount on it for the Black Friday sale that's happening on Steam. Well, no, Steam's doing autumn sale instead of Black Friday. So there's a sale on Steam right now, and Ubisoft is like, no, full price. We're not discounting Star Wars. This would have been a great time to put maybe not super deep discount, but a solid discount on it, and maybe it'll move some copies.
Yeah. Maybe a 20% or fucking something.
Well, they did 25 at launch, so I would have thought maybe about a 40% discount. You'd probably move some copies.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Like that's enough for people to go, I've heard these issues, but I'll give it a go.
What I find interesting is the Harry Potter game is down 75%.
I mean, that game came out last year, though, so that's really not that surprising.
I figured they'd try and keep that one going, because Potterheads are strangely loyal.
Yeah, but they all bought it already. That's
That's a good point.
They're not trying to get the
working on a
Potter
sequel
people.
for it.
Yeah, they are.
The sequel where you hunt down and destroy the woman who wrote Harry Potter.
Oh, sorry. My bad. There is actually currently a 25% discount on Star Wars.
Gayest!
Down from $99 to $75.
Still not worth it.
I know. It'd have to be more like a 40%, so we're getting down to closer to like $60, and it's like, okay, I'm willing to talk to you about this now.
Yeah, 40% I'd be thinking about it. I probably wouldn't go for it, but I'd definitely be thinking about it.
$60 for all the extra shit with it.
Yes.
Oh no, if you want all the shit, it's still $142.
Yep, that's what I thought.
What?
With the
God
25
damn.
with the 25% discount, it is still $140 for the Ultimate Edition of Star Wars.
Yeah, how fucking ridiculous is that?
Oh, that hurts me. God damn it.
Although it does have a mostly positive on Steam.
Did they pay for it?
I doubt it. The user rankings for stuff on Steam is usually pretty good.
That is true. Look, they may have patched it. They may have gone through. Like when it drops in price, I'll pick it up. I'm not giving them anywhere near.
Yeah, I was honestly hoping that the sales would result in some good discounts on it and be like, all right, I feel okay about picking this up now.
Yeah.
Maybe I hope that when they roll out the Christmas sale, maybe it'll be discounted.
Hopefully it'll drop then. And then I might play it. But because at this point, it'd be okay to buy into because they would hopefully have patched all the really egregious shit out. So
one can hope.
Yeah.
Well, that's assuming it even works because Windows 11 has been bricking their games.
Yeah. That has been a very interesting thing.
One of the most recent updates to Windows 11 has basically just been like, yeah, Ubisoft games don't seem to work anymore.
I wonder if this is like a weird flex. Just someone at Ubisoft pissed off Microsoft. One guy at Microsoft, like a couple of lines of code.
Well, it's funny because like only today I was sitting there on my lunch break thinking like I was trying to think of like old games that I'd played and everything, and for some reason Assassin's Creed Valhalla came across my head. I thought, shit, I got quite a ways into that and I lost interest, but it wasn't a bad game. There was just too much shit around. Like every time you turned the corner, there was another fucking glowing thing. And I thought, oh fuck, I might just have another look at it. And then immediately I opened up my phone. Windows 11 is bricking it. Like, okay, guess I'm not. Thank you, universe.
That was divine intervention by the great gods of gaming. Going, no, you cannot go back.
So, some good news from the Australian government, which is weird to say.
And rare.
They've updating the way the student debt loans are calculated based on the weird spike we had last year. And, a lot of people are going to be getting some money back, or essentially a lot of interest wiped off their debts.
Which is fucking good.
Basically, last year there was a massive spike up to, I think it was 7.1% interest.
Yeah. Well, it actually went with like proper indexation, whereas previously it had been reduced.
Yeah.
So now they've tied the interest index to, where is it? I fucking lost it in this goddamn article.
It's a really strange
The wage price index.
Yes, that's it. It's either the wage price index or
consumer price index.
Whichever one's lower. Is the one they calculate it based on. So they're recalculating the last year of student loan debt. So instead of being at 7.1, it's at 3.2, which is a big saving for some people. Even our good boy John Doe, he is going to essentially get $600 knocked off his
and
his
it's being
loans.
retroactively submitted from 2023. So from the previous financial year. So that's it'd be a double dose. Anyone who's already paid it off from within that time will get refunded.
Yeah. The credits are being applied via the ATO. But yeah,
And
that's
the ATO is
awesome.
pretty
I'm always happy when students get a break.
Yeah. Especially just how fucking horrible it is to try and pay for school now.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Like, so much more. Like, we paid a decent amount to go to the uni we went to. But that's now, like, baseline. That used to be, way above the average.
Yeah.
Like, for what we paid to go to Quantum and everywhere else. Whereas now, it's like, baseline! Like, no! Guys, no! It's sad.
I'm annoyed because I just saw John Doe's very nice girlfriend hand him a pile of food, and it's just like, you son of a bitch.
It looks so good!
It's Kentucky Fried Pigeon with a little bit of gravy over the top, some wicked wings, a few chippos, a bit of nuggies. Oh, shit, yeah.
I want me some nuggies.
God damn it. Focus up. We got more shit to talk about. So, the last week we talked about how Sony was looking to buy the parent company of FromSoft. Yeah, turns out that the parent company has actually been courting Sony for some time.
Which sounds weirdly creepy.
They just want to
Essentially,
yeah.
Basically, they've been trying to get Sony to buy them for a while, but Sony's been like, no, we just want to buy some of your manga and anime IPs. Because the company's had other bigger fish floating around, well, bigger than them, not Sony, floating around from other countries looking to purchase up shares in them and essentially buy them. And they want to keep the profits in Japan since they're both Japanese companies. So it's like, okay, this actually kind of makes a lot more sense now as like, why is this happening? Oh, yeah, they just want to, not get bought out by Tencent or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is considerably more reasonable than originally.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Sony's going to buy it, make it all fucking exclusive and nothing good will ever get released again. This makes more sense.
Well, I mean, that
it
still
may
could happen. But it at least makes more sense why this company, when owning something like FromSoft, which has just been like money printing, is like, there's some shady guys looking at us. Can Big Daddy Sony come protect me from them?
it becomes a question, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. It's like, outside, it's like, look, I at least know Sony will do these horrible things, but I know I can deal with those horrible things. Those guys, we don't know what the fuck they'll be doing. So,
I mean, I'm sure there's probably a little bit of that Japanese pride there as well. They don't want all the funds going offshore. They want to keep them in Japan. We're both Japanese companies. Let's keep the money here, not flying out to like South Korea or something. Yeah, so that's a little update on that one, which is kind of good. So Elon Musk wants to start up a gaming company that utilizes a lot of AI to make games great again.
Have you learned nothing, old man?
Yeah. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? But it's like, I really don't want this to happen for multiple reasons. One, I don't want an AI-created game. That's just going to be malware. Like, it's going to enslave systems, and that's how we get the end of the world. Guaranteed. It's coming from Elon Musk. It's probably what's going to happen.
It'll require an X login to play.
Yeah.
I can
it
imagine
posts everything on X.
It will live tweet your gameplay.
It auto streams. You can't turn it off.
See, unfortunately, now all I can imagine is a line of dialogue done in Sarah Connor's voice. On this day, Elon Musk's game went live, and Skynet became sentient.
But actually, on the same kind of topic of just AI fuckery, have you seen there's been a whole bunch of big companies who have released AI-created ads?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay, I've seen some of them, and I'm like, okay, the stuff I've seen from that is just like pictures, and I've seen nothing, like very few of them look like they're AI-generated ads. I've just seen a lot of people saying they're AI-generated. I haven't seen any articles.
The big one was Coca-Cola, and it's basically it's AI recreating a very old advertisement they had back in like the 60s. One of the first big Christmassy ones. But Coke was like, we made this with AI! And they flaunted that one.
Okay.
And it looks kind of creepy when it's moving. That's
when AI looks creepy.
Yeah, because it can't hold that cohesion properly. It gets a bit weird. But, yeah. But I don't like the trend of them going, we're just doing this with AI. It's like, guys, no, please. Don't start that down the hill. We can't stop that boulder.
The boulder's already moving.
Yeah.
It's been moving for a while now. I still point out that, like, back when I was in uni, the AI boulder was already taking my job.
That is true.
So it was like, yeah, y'all were quiet while they killed my industry. Now you want me to yell when they're killing yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at this point,
I mean, I will be because, like, I want my entertainment to be good.
Yeah.
But, like, you didn't stop them killing my industry back when it didn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't want to see what an AI-made game looks like. That
A hot mess, I've got to imagine.
Probably just easy to take shrooms and go for a walk.
Oh, yeah. Like, even if it made a game, I imagine it would just be like halfway through Fever Dream starts. Oh, God, cohesion lost. What's happening?
That or it would be the most milquetoast game ever. Something produced by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ah, so they're going for Ubisoft's job.
Yeah. Well, or they would have fed the fucking thing on the most useless, like, shitty, basic phone games ever, and that's all it'll pump out.
Yeah, probably. Look, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, let's face it, like, can Musk just stop? Just fucking stop.
He kept saying he wanted to go to Mars. Can we just send him to Mars? They're just like, right, you're on the next rocket. Off you go. Go, shoot. Get out. Because I'm sick of having to listen to him in any way. He's not a nice person.
He's got bad takes. He's doing not helpful things. He's about to waste an awful lot of people's time with his stupid government posting. It's just like what is this fucking guy? And people still think he's some kind of tech genius. I've had to disavow so many people of like, guy, he did not make Tesla. He did not make PayPal.
Yeah,
he's an investor.
Yeah. Like, that's it. But people love him. It's like the Steve Jobs effect. Where it's just like, oh, this man is genius. We love him. It's like, he's not that good, guys. Dial it back a bit. And somehow that feeds back in. I mean, and by telling them no, they just double down.
It does take a certain amount of, like, business acumen to know what to invest in.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I will give that. But people like Musk, you're like, oh, he bought Tesla. And then bought the ability to call himself a founder.
Yeah.
Like, that's not smartly investing. That's like, oh, I need people to think I did this.
Mm. Yeah, that's just throwing big dollar dick at the problem.
Yeah. So, man really needs to just stop. Just
he does.
You're not going to make games great again. Guess what? Games are great right now.
Yeah. Like, we bitch about, like, a fair few of them, but there's other ones that are really good.
I mean, there's a reason we have a monthly show where we talk about the next month's games we're looking forward to.
Yeah. Like, we bitch about the industry, but we really like it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time where we all thought we'd end up in it.
Pretty much. I just wish he'd go back to playing with rockets. I don't want him so close to politics and so close to, like, fun industries ideal.
Yeah,
go and play with your rockets.
Step away from the politics and go play with the explodey thing.
But if he went and played with the rockets, he'd somehow make the rockets not work.
That is true.
I think the reason the rockets are doing so well is Elon Musk is keeping his fingers out of the fucking pie.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if that's half the reason. It's like, oh no, we'll just distract him with Trump, and then we can maybe get to Mars.
Just go and play with your other autistic friend. You'll be right.
Look, what if all the massive nerds at SpaceX, because there's bound to be some fun people there. It's like, right, we're all going to Mars now. The best of the best. Ah, look, here comes Elon, and they just close the door with a no Elon's club sign on the front, and just fuck off to Mars. I would love that so much.
Right, so I think last thing we have to talk about is a trailer that recently got released for a game that will be releasing on Steam called Light the Motorium, which is absolutely 100%, as far as I can tell from this trailer and the way they're pitching this trailer, we have Horizon Zero Dawn at home.
Yeah. It's Aldi Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, this
Like,
isn't even like copied homework with a few different answers. This is straight out Control-C, Control-V, let's release it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll put the trailer in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself and make your own call about it. But, like, they use I understand that, like, the robot dinosaur thing is not unique to Horizon.
Yeah.
No.
They can't really copyright that. But everything about this, the color tones, the designs are so similar that I guarantee you, if you put this in front of someone and told them it was Horizon 3, they'd be like, this looks sick. They wouldn't be like, that's not Horizon.
It's kind of like how Pal World appeared out of nowhere. It was like, it's a Pokemon clone, but they had some differentiating features. Yeah. Whereas this one doesn't. It's just missing that extra things. Like, this is ours now. It's like, no, we asset flipped it. It's fine.
Well, it's all the way down to, like, looking at any of the the robotic creatures in this, they could have been cut, copied, and pasted into Horizon, like down to the greebling, the design, the way it moves. Every little thing about it is like,
and
no, that's Horizon right there.
And at least the character they have in the trailer is a bow-wielding, melee-focused female lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
she had red hair.
They have a hood up, so I don't think you ever actually get to see what their hair color is.
Look, if it turns out she has red hair, then we know this is just like they've taken that game and then changed the assets around.
But I think that the bit that's the most egregious is at about 12 seconds into the clip. There's a clearly some kind of stag walks out, and it's like, that's from Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not, oh, it's kind of similar. That's from Horizon.
Yeah.
I know it's not actually from it, but, like, the colored tips being yellow, the silver, the blue, the way all the cabling looks, it's like, that is straight out of Horizon.
Yeah, like, they used the art from Horizon Zero Dawn as their concept art and then moved on from there.
It definitely feels like someone went, play Horizon Zero Dawn, now make your own one, and then went, okay, bet, and then made Horizon.
I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah. And, like, I was like, is this trailer fake or something? No, there's a fucking Steam page. This is something someone is actually trying to release. It's not a weird, like, oh, we just thought of an idea and we made a concept trailer. It's like, no, they actually want to put this out, and, like, I don't know, like, I've suggested that things should be suable before, but of course I'm not a lawyer, I'm just an idiot. But, like, this one feels just so blatant. Like I said, if you didn't put the actual name of the game on it and just showed it to people, they would tell you this is Horizon.
Oh, definitely.
And from what I understand, and this is, again, idiot sitting at a desk, that sort of thing is where you can start to get into people for, like, copyright stuff. Like, you can confuse these two things very easily. There's grounds. Yeah.
A
lot of people would...
So it almost gives me the feeling of, like, the day before. Like, they've come out and said, oh, no, here's this amazing thing, and everyone's going to want to play this thing. Look, it looks like somewhere between The Division and all these other fucking games. And, oh, my God, how awesome is this? And then when it is finally released, it's nothing. It's just trash. It feels like it's trying to pull that kind of hype.
Kind of, yeah, definitely.
Really is, yeah.
But we'll just have to wait and see. It has no release date set on Steam yet. It's just got a Steam page. But yeah, it's definitely, it's got to be skirting some, like, this trailer already went up 2 hours ago from the one we're watching that I'll post in the show notes. So it's pretty recent that it's gone up. So I got to wonder how long before some people start taking notice, particularly over at Guerrilla Games. But
hopefully
like I said,
they find out.
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if they have any grounds or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely unlike Pal World, where it was like, oh, some of your characters look very similar to Pokemon. that's kind of sketchy. Like, is that okay? This looks like it's ripping off the whole thing.
Yeah, whereas before it was a tentative, maybe they could go for it. This one's like, no, like that's blatant. Like,
Yeah.
Didn't even try to hide.
Like I said, the thing as far as I understand, is once you can confuse the two products, that's when people start being able to execute on, like, copyright claims.
Yeah, definitely.
Any closing thoughts just to run out the last couple minutes of the episode?
Sadly, my brain is mostly mush at the moment. It's been an interesting week, so anything that I could say would just be in a loop. So
that's
share
fair. That's pretty fair. I've not had a particularly great week myself. Not really wishing to get into it, but yeah, I've had to make some annoyingly large purchases to cover other problems. I think we've all had kind of a shite week.
Kind of, yeah. Like, just a lot of bad luck. I think this week was cursed. We had angered the drama fairy in some way, and they came to pay a visit. So
yeah.
This is what we get for talking about all that stuff to do with Mr. Beast that turned out wasn't true.
And it actually is just, Mr. Beast, like, in the bushes. Yeah!
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck up all your shit, say? Yeah.
Look, if I had Mr. Beast money, I'd do petty things like that.
All right, let's push this out over our usual limiter. We're out past an hour. I think we're done for the week. All right, you guys have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.